So prop your seat, but be comfortable. It doesn't matter how you sit, just as long as you're able to relax and sit up tall. So feel your sits bones root, feel your spine grow tall. You might even close your eyes here for these first few moments. Just allow the breath to be neutral. Don't try to control it at all just yet. So we'll have a Nadi Shodhana practice, which means alternate nostril without the hands. We'll just let the hands resting face down on the thighs. And you're just going to imagine or visualize or feel the breath moving from right nostril to left nostril. So you'll inhale right, you'll exhale left. We'll do that a few times and then we'll switch sides. We'll inhale left and exhale right. So just follow my lead. Let's take 2 neutral breaths through both nostrils. Begin, inhale and exhale. So one more neutral breath like that. Now visualize, feel, or sense breathing in just through the right nostril for 4, 3, 2, 1. Move that breath out through the left for 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to the right. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale left, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale right, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale left, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switching sides. Inhale left, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale right, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale left, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale right, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale left, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale right, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale both, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale both, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale through both nostrils, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale both, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last round, count silently on your own, inhaling to 4, exhaling to 4. When you've completed that last neutral breath, you can join your hands together at the heart if you like. Blink the eyes open. Just arrive into your mat, into your practice. We will come now into our first shape, and we're going to work with the lower half of the body. You may have noticed a theme recently where we have been focusing on the hips. So today will be similar, but we're going to start with the ankles and feet. So we'll have a brief toe squat. Toe squat is just curling the toes under. So you're opening the soles of the feet, and you're taking this at your own pace, right? So maybe the feet are open and kind of agile enough to sit the weight back on the heels, but maybe the hands need to come forward onto the mat. So you can take a little bit of pressure and weight off of the feet, the ankles, by bringing your hands forward. We'll be here for about a minute. I'll set us a timer. So if you're sitting back on your heels, you might just rest your hands down on your thighs, relax your shoulders, maybe even close your eyes. I always like to, when I'm having a restorative practice, the idea here is that we have an internal practice. We go inside. So for me, that manifests in a way of closing my eyes and just noticing the sensations in the body. Maybe it works for you, maybe it doesn't. It's just an offering to try. Just a couple more breaths here. One last breath in. And a breath out. And so we'll start to uncurl the toes. You might just start to tap out the tops of the feet to get some blood flow back into those ankles and the tops of the feet. And so for your restorative practice by now, you most know that you need all of your props, right? So today is no different. We'll take whatever we have for our blanket, or maybe it's a towel today, and we'll roll it up. You want it to be at least as wide as your mat. This nice long roll. That's going to tuck underneath the backs of the knees, between the calves and the back of the thighs. And then you're going to sit back there. And again, just like toe squat, any amount. So you can take some weight, some pressure off by bringing the weight forward into the hands. This is totally fine. And you might explore kind of sitting back into this, pretty intense, especially if you've been doing things like hiking, running, any kind of leg exercises where the muscles are pretty tight. Whew, I feel this, so keep that breath coming. We'll take 3 breaths here. This is a nice way to release the fascial tissue, that kind of netting that runs over the top of the muscles, it runs through the muscles, the bones, it's everywhere in our body. So bring some weight back onto your hands. We'll scoot that tootsie roll down the calf some more towards the ankle joint, kind of like halfway down. And then see if you can sit back. Any amount is fine. Always feel free to bring weight into the hands. 3 breaths here as well. Okay, bring some weight back into the hands. Let's scoot that roll down one more time so it's about like on top of the Achilles tendon. And then you can lean your own range of motion, your own ability back or forward. 3 breaths here. Last 2 breaths. Good. We'll come out of that, set that blanket off to the side. You might want to unroll it, and especially if the knees like a little extra padding, we're coming into a low lunge to start to work with the front of the thigh, the hip flexors, to prepare ourselves for one of our bigger shapes we'll take towards the end of our practice. So maybe that blanket or towel goes to the center of the mat, nice and flat. And then it's your choice what you want to prop your upper body up onto. It might be nice to use a chair or a stool. As we come into this low lunge, we'll take our left foot forward first. Take a peek at your left leg. So see if you can get the sole of that left foot to plant. Try not to roll out, try not to roll in. See if you can keep the knee and ankle stacked. And then curl the right toes under, lengthen that leg back so you're more towards the top or beyond the top of the right knee. You're on the tissue instead of the joint itself. So a chair feels pretty nice here because you get to lean the upper body weight here. If the hips want a little bit more, you can move the chair out of the way. You can use pillows, blocks. You can even come down to the forearms, really your choice. Here we're going to take 2 minutes, so just a little bit longer of a hold. Utilize that breath. That's going to really help you with this practice, with staying in it. Hips are such they're an emotional place in the body, right? You hear often that emotional releases happen within a yoga asana practice because, you know, the saying that we hold our issues in our tissues is so true. So when we trigger these high frequency points in the body, like the hips, things like irritation, anger, frustration, it's very normal for those things to come up. And just because they don't come up doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It's just, if that happens, it's normal and it's okay. There's nothing wrong per se. About halfway through, keep breathing. Stay plugged into that left foot. Especially when we're seated all day, this is a really great thing to do for hip flexors, for front of thigh. Last 2 breaths here on this side. All right, let's start to back out. Take your time, go slow, pressing into your hands. Shift the weight back, bring that left knee back into place. Anything you want in between sides, that might mean like cat and cow. If you want something a little bit more active, you could press up and back to downward facing dog even. Just either way, take something neutral. Maybe that's even child's pose. All right, now we'll come to our second side. So right and left sides tend to be pretty asymmetrical in our bodies, and that's okay. So if you need to have a different height of support, let yourself explore that. Let's bring that right foot forward. First, check out the foot, the ankle, the knee. Get the sole of the foot flat if you can, toes pointing straight forward. I have a fairly wide stance, so my right foot's like even off beyond the side of my yoga mat because it's such a wide stance to make space for the hips to sink down and forward. 2 minutes here. If you haven't done so already, make sure you wiggle that left foot back, be more on the tissue, the top of that left knee, not on like the patella, the meniscus, not on the joint itself. Keep settling back into the breath. As many times as that takes. We're halfway through, so we have just 1 more minute here on this side. See if you can stay relaxed in the upper body, shoulders, neck, jaw, all of that. See if you can keep relaxing there, keep softening there. another really common thing for the body to be so uncomfortable with opening up the hips that tension moves up the body into spine, into neck, into shoulders. Very common response. One more breath here. All right, let's take it slow, back out. Maybe it's child's pose, maybe it's cat-cow, maybe it's down dog. All right, so back through neutral, we're going to set up for this big hip flexor opening, front of thigh, front of chest opening that we've been preparing the body for. This, for me, requires basically all of my props. So we're gentle with the knees, we're compassionate with the knees, we give it what they need. So what I like to do, here's a couple of options. Here's a couple ways to set this up. So I folded this blanket into like this little pillow. I'm going to take that right in between my feet, set my hips down there. So my hips get a little bit of height. So not all of my weight is on my heels, and that allows my knees to relax a little bit. Then if you have that chair, that couch behind you maybe, you can kind of lean back on this. This allows the body to relax into this. Remember, this is a restorative practice, so that means muscles are passive. We're relaxing muscles, very passive with the body. So maybe this is where you stay, right? Or maybe you add extra props, like more pillows, more blankets underneath the sits bones, and you're sitting up nice and tall. Or it might be that the body can and wants to go a little bit further, in which case you could, some people can do this, like, right, just let their hips relax in between their feet and lie all the way back. That's not for me. I know that about my body. I honor that about my body. So if I want to lean back, I create this little ramp for my spine to lay back on. Get creative at home with, books or whatever you need, folded blankets. I even set my glutes here on the edge of this pillow, and then when I come back, I like to pad my head with a little blanket. So the purpose of this is for it to be sustainable for you and your body. So you might try a couple of these options and realize, oh, I need more propping, or oh, I need less propping. And that will take you maybe a few tries, and maybe a few minutes to even realize. And this will be our longer hold for the day. So we'll be here for 3 minutes. Okay, so 3 minutes might feel like a really long time, right? But if you need to back out at any point in time and sit up to adjust your props, please give yourself that permission. Once you're ready to settle, start to settle. I invite you to, again, close the eyes. Practice this interoception, this internal awareness. If you're not used to that practice, it can be really confronting at first, even uncomfortable. If you don't let yourself do that very often, you might even feel kind of anxious. Just depends on what's going on in your life. Because all of those things that you push down and push down and push down will start to come up, and you get to look at them. Not so comfortable sometimes. Just do your best to come back to your breath. Come back to your breath as many times as it takes. Deep belly breathing. If you're lying back on your little recliner, you might even stretch your arms out. You can get the added bonus of running across the chest and shoulders. If tension creeps up the body towards shoulders, neck, jaw, you use an exhalation to imagine just releasing and softening there. So each exhalation brings you more and more to a state of relaxation and release. That's 3 minutes, so we'll start to very slowly work our way out. You can press down through the hands to lift up. To counter this shape, you might again move to tabletop. Some cat and cow could feel really nice. And or downward facing dog, just to lengthen out through your knees and the backs of the legs. Maybe you do a little bit of both even. So if you're in down dog, come back to the knees. And then we'll turn around and we'll set up our props for our final rest. And I'd like us to use this to have a very mild, gentle inversion. So maybe you have blocks here and a pillow, something kind of like this. This will be for the backs of the legs or the calf. And again, a couch, seat, or chair works really well because as you can see, if you can see my chair, it's almost the same height. What I want you to pay attention to is when you come down to your back and set your legs on top of this, is that the backs of the knees get to be in contact with whatever prop you're using. And then you might even take your blanket, your towel, really soothing to add a little bit of extra weight to the belly. And if you have an extra blanket or towel, you could pat the back of the head. That always feels really quite nice. So just take a few moments to kind of wiggle, fidget here, adjust onto your back. We'll find that place of stillness. Plenty of time, so we'll take about 3 minutes in this shape to settle, to relax. Once more, closing the eyes, breathing in and out through the nose if you're able. If you need to breathe through the mouth because you're plugged up or, maybe allergies or whatever reason, that's fine. As we settle into stillness, imagine with each exhalation the back body becoming really heavy. And we acknowledge that the body, the physical body, is this organic substance that has roots that grow deep into the earth's core. And there's this symbiosis, there's this relationship we get from being in contact with the earth, right? being in contact with the ground. It's grounding for a reason. We receive a negative ion charge when we get close to the earth. We'll begin to count backward on our breath here. We'll start at the number 10. With each exhalation, we will go backward 1 count. So your next exhale will be 9. Next exhale, 8. Continue to count backward on your breath until you arrive at 0. This idea of each exhalation bringing you closer to a state of total and complete relaxation. When you arrive at 0, let go of any counting, any doing. Just allow yourself to be here. Have more time to spare in Shavasana, please stay longer. If you need to move on with your day, take it slow. Start to awaken through fingertips and toes. Maybe you move your head side to side. If you have space above you, stretch the arms long. When you're ready, you can exhale, roll off to a side into fetal position. Continue to press into your hands. Rise up to a brief, comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. We'll just take a few moments here to close out our practice together, placing left palm against the heart. Right palm stacks on top. Bow the chin to the chest. Take this moment here with your hands on your heart to feel that you are alive. You can feel your heart beating. You can feel your breath moving. Acknowledge that you are trying. You are always trying your best, and that varies from day to day what that looks like. And all of this is okay. All of it's okay. It's such an honor to guide you through this practice as I teach and learn. So thank you so much for showing up, sharing your wisdom and your grace. Even though I can't see you, I can feel your energy. Namaste, yogis. That's it. Hope you all have a lovely day.